Did you know that there is a whole other side of Counter-Strike? One that doesn't include essentially getting a master's degree in utility usage and putting in reps on aim maps, grinding every day. That's right, this little button here opens up a brand new world. I'm exploring old game modes from Counter-Strike's community servers, investigating what they're all about and finding if any of them are still alive and worth playing in 2025. With a history well over 20 years, there have been many different community game modes that have come and gone over the years, providing more casual and fun introductions to completely new players who otherwise would not have given CS a go. Despite Counter-Strike's outward appearance as a purely competitive experience, modding and community-developed game modes are a cornerstone of what makes Counter-Strike, Counter-Strike. And besides Surf, KZ, and bhop, the movement-based modes that ruled the server browser, there are many weird and wonderful modes hidden deep within the server browser. All of which have had dedicated communities develop vast libraries of maps, ranging from masterpieces to maps fueled by the minds of schizophrenics. But despite the differing levels of quality, all of the work that has been put into these community modes has provided hundreds of hours of entertainment to hundreds of thousands of people. And some of these modes have been foundational in introducing new players to Counter-Strike. Some have had their time in the sun, some have forever been in the shadows, and some have become cultural cornerstones of the game and the community. So, I'm going to investigate some of Counter-Strike's community game modes from throughout the ages, and find out if any of them are still worth playing in 2025. Now, a role player's dream: Jailbreak. Allowing you to live your dream of killing inmates who don't follow your every order.
Whatever Daddy wants, Daddy gets.
Jailbreak, at its most basic, is cops and robbers. There are a small team of wardens and a team of inmates. The wardens run a multitude of minigames in order to cull the crowd, and the inmates try and survive until the end. There are also sometimes opportunities for inmates to break away from the pack, steal a gun, and then kill the prison wardens. If the wardens manage to cull the inmates down to a final 3, the inmates are then eligible to request 1v1s against the wardens for the dub. The maps all have a central cell area where all the inmates spawn, and a gun room where all the wardens spawn. And this is where every single map of Jailbreak begins, in the cells. Once the wardens take out the pack of criminals, they would either have them play the number of games available on the map, for example bhop, jump rope, or KZ, or create ad hoc games, like Simon Says, which always turned into something foolish over the mic.
Can someone open cells?
You didn't say Simon Says don't open cells.
Martin, go open cells.
Simon Says open cells.
Jailbreak was one of the more popular modes back in CSGO, and had its heyday around 2016 and 2017. While this game mode is clearly nowhere near the level it was back in the day, it still does have a dedicated community, with a few servers surviving into CS2, and it is not as dead as I thought it was when I first came back to give it another look. However, no servers survive here in Australia, so I was needing to play on NA servers. I think Jailbreak has the potential to grow back to its peak, and it is as fun as ever. Valve just needs to go back to empowering community modes and servers, fixing the server browser instead of hiding it away. Despite Valve doing its best to kill community modes after the launch of CS2, it's still going strong, and Jailbreak is definitely worth playing. Next, I had a look at trading servers. Back in CSGO, these servers were virtual town squares, full of mini-games, but with a focus on chatting and, of course, trading. And in addition to forums like Global Offensive Trade, these servers were the go-to to list your wares, and of course shark other players for sweet profit. These servers were Counter-Strike's equivalent of the Grand Exchange in RuneScape, and were huge back when trading was first added. You would spam chat with buy and sell offers, and go into private rooms to show your skins off to prospective buyers. In March 2018, a 7-day trade hold was added to any items that were traded, similar to the hold that was on any items bought on the community market. This killed these servers, or at least in their past form. Trade servers split into minigame servers and servers that are more used as add-ons to outside trading places. mostly to inspect any weapon without actually needing the seller to be online with you. In terms of actually finding these servers in the server browser organically like the old days, no way. Trading is now based entirely on places like Twitter, Discord, and online marketplaces where cash trading can also occur. Cash trading sounds like a great transition to our sponsor, SkinVault GG. SkinVault.gg has been a long-term friend of the channel, and they just hit a huge milestone of 1 million skins being available on their site. This means that if you want it, SkinVault has got it. SkinVault has some of the lowest fees on the market. You can trade skins or cash out, and if you use code NebulaCS, you'll get a $10 trade bonus on the site and a 35% deposit bonus if depositing cash. If you want to trade, use SkinVault and use code NebulaCS. Back to the video. But yeah, trading servers in their original state are dead.
Yeah, guys, leave poor Soul alone. He's had his...
After that disappointment, I'm bringing the vibe back with Combat Surf, a bastardization of Counter-Strike's most iconic community invention, Surf. Surf started as a challenge mode, trying to get to the end of a level in the best possible time, now referred to as Skill Surf. Surf is widely known even outside the Counter-Strike community, so it only makes sense that the mod was modded, in true Source Engine fashion, modception. Combat Surf started in Counter-Strike Source, but reached its peak in CSGO. Combat Surf is exactly what you think. It's deathmatch, but on specialist surf maps that are designed for combat. The most famous surf maps were Ski to Go, Surf Japan, Extreme, and Bano Canyon. Players would gather speed on ramps, hit boosts, and hit the craziest clips, flying past people at 3,000 units per second. The way rounds flowed relied entirely on server settings. Sometimes it's free-for-all, sometimes it's team deathmatch, and sometimes it was casual. It could be made easier or harder. Some servers would have no fall damage and auto B-hopping, allowing for movement tech to get more advanced. Easier movement tech, crazier kills. But some servers, and the one I used to play on back in 2014 and 2015, did have fall damage, and you would need to land in specific surfaces that have shallow water in order to not die, increasing the skill gap. This relatively small change, fall damage versus no fall damage, or auto B-hop versus no auto B-hop, changed how different servers felt, and enabled even more variety in the already incredibly niche mode. This game mode does still have a few servers left in CS2 and in Source, but every time I checked them, they never had more than 10 players, which is a dramatic drop from what they were back in their peak in 2015 and 2016. Its decline is mostly due to many maps never getting a proper port over to CS2, and the ones that have been ported have so many ramp bugs that it is a nightmare to play on many servers. While it was an issue at launch, Surf has been mostly fixed, so the issue lies mostly with the maps not having the fixes. I guess it's hard to dedicate time to fix a map when the population of servers are so low. Chicken and egg kind of situation. While the learning curve is sharp, this mode was some of the most fun I ever had in CS when I was younger, and I had heaps of fun revisiting this mode when maps worked, even with servers that aren't that populated. This is definitely one you should give a go, and we need Combat Surf to have its revival. Finally, probably one of Counter-Strike's most iconic game modes, Zombie Escape. The basics are 2 sides, zombies and humans. Zombies need to kill and turn all of the humans into zombies in order to win, and humans need to stop the horde while trying to back up and escape through the level, with the final goal of reaching the exit and escaping the zombies. Maps have numerous levels, deep strategies, and actually require teamwork in order for the game mode to even be possible for the humans. The human side has a leader with priority mic, calling to defend or fall back, which makes it at least possible to work together without having a constant screaming match over the mic. Zombie Escape has had dedicated communities in 1.6, Source, CSGO, and now in CS2 as well. Zombie Escape is actually the only game mode I'm showcasing in this video that has anywhere close to a significant amount of players, and this shit is still huge in China. So, if you've never played Zombie Escape, it's definitely worth giving a go. It's an iconic part of Counter-Strike, and even in the modern era, with community servers being hidden from sight by Valve, it's still going strong. So, while no community mode is still at its peak, largely due to the massive downgrade in accessibility to the server browser by Valve, some modes still live on, primarily Zombie Escape. Some are on life support, like Combat Surf and Jailbreak, and some are dead, like trading servers. But community modes are still a part of Counter-Strike, and I believe they can still play a role in introducing new players to the game. Sometimes people don't want to play competitive straight away. Sometimes a more casual mode is more appropriate as a way to introduce someone to Counter-Strike. It is certainly how I got my start, playing Surf, KZ and Jailbreak for probably more than 1,000 hours before I ever set foot in a comp match. So, go forth, click on that little globe next to the workshop maps on play, and see what there is to offer. Counter-Strike is so much more than Premier. Peace out.